Alright, so the trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out. So I figured I'd make a video reviewing it and give my thoughts on the trailer, as I am deeply excited for the show, especially after this trailer. Okay, so the trailer opens up with Bucky and Sam in therapy, and I honestly love this idea. And it breaks you to one of the main reasons I'm excited for the show, the core idea of the story. Basically, what the story is, it's about Captain America's two best friends who do not like each other having to work together. And I love that idea, but what's most important about it is the fact that, again, these two guys do not like each other, and this is shown in Civil War.
Couldn't have done that earlier. I hate you.
Okay, so after we get a little voiceover of the girl who's giving them therapy, and it's basically asking why does Bucky hate Sam? As a response to this, the clip shows Sam jumping out of a plane without a plan about their attack, and this is basically why Bucky's always frustrated with Sam because he never really thinks about what he's doing when he's going in to fight. I think this also makes sense as Bucky's used to following orders, especially from his experience of World War II, also kind of when he's under Hydra and stuff. And while yes, Falcon does listen to orders as he was a part of the army, in the MCU has always been shown to be a little more reckless than Bucky has. So I feel this makes perfect sense. After we see that Baron Zemo has returned, the villain of Captain America Civil War is finally returning back, and he will be wearing the mask this time, unlike in the previous film he was in. Now this I'm extremely excited for, as Zemo is my personal favorite MCU villain of all time. I prefer him over Thanos, Loki, Ultron, and all the other great villains. I love his motivation, the way he has written, the way he has acted. If you ask me, he is a pretty much perfect villain, and I do not understand why he does not get more love. So seeing him here makes me so happy, especially since in another TV spot that came out recently, we have actually seen him don the entire mask with the trench coat and all that in a full shot. And if you ask me, this looks fucking incredible. After we see a couple action shots, this girl putting on a mask, and also we see like some government people. Now, the girl I will come back to in a little bit at the end of the trailer, and as for the government person, I think that this is actually Rhodey, as Rhodey has been confirmed that he will be in this TV show, so I personally believe that is him. However, I cannot be 100% sure. After we see Bucky, who I think is disguised at some place, and I just want to mention this, he's wearing a fucking hat. According to a lot of movies with MCU logic, wearing a hat completely hides your face or something. It's just something I've noticed in a lot of MCU movies, and it's really weird. Now, maybe he's not actually in disguise, maybe he's just at some, like, attendance place or a funeral. I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah. After we see Sam holding some booklet thing by Captain America poster, and what I theorize about this is that this is actually Cap's funeral. The reason I think this is because, one, it obviously just makes sense for the story of the show, two, Cap is really old now, and also, he's standing by one of Cap's posters while holding a booklet, and that's just something I assume happen at funerals. I mean, I haven't been to very many, however, this is for a little fucking superhero, so I assume that's how it's gonna work here. After we get a thing about Bucky throwing a shit at a tree, and then we see Bucky with the shield, and I think that's actually really good as it could tie to another conflict of the show. Basically, like, who gets to get the shield and all that. Now, if this wasn't the show, I personally wouldn't like this, mostly because the fact that, Cap gave the shield to Sam. And Bucky was kind of acceptance of it in Endgame. I mean, he let Sam walk over there as he knew it wasn't for him, so just wouldn't make a lot of sense if that conflict wasn't the show. It would make more sense if they're mostly fighting this because they didn't like each other in other aspects, like it was shown at the beginning of the trailer. After we hear Sam say, "When do we start?" echoing the line in Winter Soldier, and also we see that the show is now coming out on March 19th. Obviously, this is nothing new, but I think it's still very cool. And this is when the rap music in the trailer really starts to kick in, and I've seen a lot of people complain about this, but I personally don't mind it. Obviously, I prefer a custom soundtrack, however, I don't mind it, especially when it's necessary for the tone. From the style of the trailer, it seems like it's gonna be this awesome action-packed show, kind of like Hobbs and Shaw, except it'll actually be good, because Hobbs and Shaw looks fucking terrible, however, this looks good in my opinion. And from the action, the jokes, and all that, it seems like this music is the perfect tone fit. I mean, I guess I can understand if you were disappointed because a lot of people wanted something like Captain America the Winter Soldier, but I personally don't mind it. After we see Sam and Bucky at some party with these neon lights, and this leads me to believe that they're in like Tokyo or something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that place looks like. I just assume it is because of the neon lights. But yeah, we also see them fighting in some areas, and this leads me to believe that they're like undercover and maybe like trying to track down Zemo or something. I don't know. Next in the trailer, we see what happened after Sam jumps out of that plane, and we see that he's in some weird canyon area, and he did tell Bucky that he has a plan. This helps show that Falcon isn't all stupid and actually does go into the plan and actually does think about what he's doing when he goes in. And after we see the return of Sharon Carter from Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Civil War, and other MCU movies, and honestly, here she's a badass, just knocking out dudes with like a stick and also like a baton and also a gun and shit. Like, it's cool. She was never exactly a character I really loved. I mean, I liked her, but I was never particularly fond of her. She's just kind of there, and I hope that the show will make her better, especially since we don't have characters like Captain America or other ones still in the show. After we get to see some more Falcon flying into a truck, and then we get to see someone at a Super Bowl, and they're in a Captain America outfit, or look like at least. And no, this isn't actually Captain America. I forget his name, but he's some Captain America look-alike. Again, I don't know his name, however, from what I've heard, he's in the comics, and from what I've heard, he's pretty cool, or he's like a villain. I don't know shit about him, to be honest. After we get to see some more of the action from what it looks like in Tokyo, and also from the plane, which I assume is a continuation of that stuff in the canyon, and also we see him running around in the streets of Tokyo, again, I assume. And this is some more of the spots that we get of the action, and honestly, it looks fucking awesome, especially on the plane. The action looks really good throughout this entire trailer. After we get to see Sam in his new white and red outfit, holding the Captain America shield, honestly, this is extremely awesome as well, as again, Sam Wilson is obviously the new Captain America, and this new outfit looks awesome. After we see our characters on a truck in another action sequence, and this action scene actually could be pretty cool, however, my issue with it is there's this weird bit of humor. Now, I get that it matches the tone of the scene, however, it just doesn't feel very deserved here, and it honestly kind of feels out of place, especially with this scenario. At the end, we cut back to the beginning of the trailer, basically where they're in therapy, and this time they are bickering, but with the staring contest as they kind of banter. And what my favorite part about this is when the lady asks, "How old are they?" Bucky doesn't really react because he probably doesn't even know his age because he's like 100 years old or something. That bit of humor I found funny. Falcon and the Winter Soldier seriously looks fucking awesome. Looks like it has good action and some decent humor. I have a couple problems with the trailer, but overall it looks fucking awesome. And that comes into my video. I apologize that I didn't upload last week, and I've kind of been on a upload every 2 weeks for the past month or so. But I just haven't really been feeling it recently. However, I will try to get back into it, or I don't know. Like and subscribe because I'm desperate.